Welcome to our meditation session tonight, dear friends here at Shanti Sadan, and also to our friends who are joining us online. If we were to describe meditation, we could say it's a means of bringing order and harmony to the inner life of our mind. And through this inner tranquility, a deeper knowledge is uncovered within us. This knowledge is related to the ultimate nature of our being. We take on many roles in life, and we tend to get identified with these roles. And we sometimes believe that our value as a person is proved or established by these parts we play. But friends, however valuable our contribution as an active player in the life of our family and friends, place of work, sports center, place of worship, and so on, we have something in us that is of far greater value and quality. And that is what we have called the ultimate nature of our being. The different roles we play in life seem to be stable enough, but we know that there can be a change, and sometimes quite sudden, and this can alter our whole situation. And such changes can challenge our self-image, the way we see and rank ourselves as individuals. Then what is the ultimate nature of our being? Why should we give it our attention? The ultimate nature is reflected in one of the names given to this teaching, Adhyatma Yoga, or the yoga of self-knowledge. And the word Adhyatma can be translated as our higher self. This doesn't mean our good self in the sense of the good side of our character. It refers to the inmost center of our being, that eternal, unchanging essence of being that transcends nature altogether and is infinite. The knowledge of this self is liberating because it reveals our true identity, not as the mortal body or the ever-changing mind, but as infinite and eternal consciousness. So the idea underlying the teaching is that through the deepest self-knowledge comes the deepest fulfillment and satisfaction. Our mind is restless because we feel we're missing out on something crucial in our life. And yes, we tend to think that some acquisition or connection will cure this. What is really needed is the light of higher knowledge, uncovered in the depth of our own being. And the life of meditation gradually brings this wisdom to light within us. It is then that all restlessness is replaced by the realization of completeness. For we know that we are essentially one with the infinite power that underlies the whole. So does this mean that our outer problems and responsibilities will disappear? Not at all. But it means we have access to a realm of peace, light, and freedom within our own being. And in the fullness and fulfillment of this deeper consciousness, our normal thoughts related to our worldly situation simply don't arise. And this is the realm we turn to in meditation. When we rest in this peace, our mind is refreshed and our understanding clarified. This gives us the courage and ability to meet whatever challenges we are faced with in life. So friends, all this suggests that we're not just physical and social beings. Our intelligence prompts us to have deeper needs. We won't be happy until we gain true insight and understanding. Something in us craves to know the why and wherefore of things, and we can be absolutely sure that our own life is something special and sacred, worthy of this higher quest. For our life has its root in that deeper reality, which is infinite and immortal. What meditation impresses on us is that even now there is a level of our being that is always at peace. And we access this peace more and more as our understanding grows. The non-dual philosophy of yoga points to the deeper nature that underlies our mind. And it establishes that our true self is free from all limitation. That is, it is transcendental. There are classical texts that elucidate this doctrine. With their help, we are encouraged to reflect on the nature of our own consciousness and being. By taking our stand on this deeper nature within us, we will attain a measure of independence, and this will free us from our reliance on outer help for our emotional security. Friends, the way of inner relief and harmony is hidden in the deeper recesses of our own heart, in the form of this higher knowledge. Here is the gist of a Sufi verse. The malady is within you, but you do not see it. And the remedy also is within you, but you know it not. Your own heart is the book of universal wisdom, but you are convinced you are the small body and nothing more. And we find the same teaching in the Upanishads. It is the mind alone that is the cause of our bondage. And it is the mind alone that is the cause of our release. So our first great need for self-help in daily life is for an inner source of strength and self-reliance. And the second great need is a more positive one. This is our need for inner peace and light. When we turn within, we don't want to find discord and disorder. We don't want to be overpowered by uncontrollable thoughts and imaginations. Within our own being, at its core, is the firm foundation of ultimate reality. What really matters at this stage is our willingness and ability to calm down the mental processes and to introduce into the chamber of our mind a vital spiritual idea. But what do we mean by a vital spiritual idea? A great thought that points to our innermost infinite nature. And actually, you'll find that each of the practices that we're about to do contains such pointers to the nature of our true self. Our first practice is an acknowledgement of that deeper reality and its presence right now within and around us. And we do this by sitting calmly for a minute or two with a feeling of reverence for that invisible, all-pervasive power. So let us now turn to our practices. Make yourself comfortable, upright. Central channel needs to be free so that the breath can flow freely. We start by sitting calmly with a feeling of reverence for that invisible, all-pervasive power. And we do this for a minute or two. Now we are going to do a breathing practice. We breathe slowly, slightly more deeply than usual, drawing up the in-breath as if from the navel to the spot between the eyebrows. And then we release slowly. We establish a rhythm. And once you're comfortable, we add the affirmation on the in-breath, the affirmation, I am free. In our breathing practice, the qualities spoken of before, peace, harmony, infinity, immortality, are represented by one word, free. It is a reminder and an affirmation of the freedom of the true I. This is what our breathing practice points to when we say, I am free. The eternal freedom of our I am. Our true I is never actually colored by the roles we take on in life. It is ever free and infinite. So we're going to do the practice together now for about 4 minutes. Breathe slowly, drawing up the in-breath as if from the navel to the spot between the eyebrows. Establish a rhythm. And now fill the mind with the thought I am free. Om. Drawing up the in-breath as if from the navel to the spot between the eyebrows. Take your time. I am free. Conscious breathing. Few more rounds. I am free. Om. We will now do a practice in creative visualization, and it is this. Picture a blue, cloudless sky extending all around you. Feel the freedom, vastness, and purity of this great space. When other images enter the mind, let them dissolve in the blue sky. This practice uses the image of the sky and continues the theme of freedom. In the Upanishads, it speaks of the space within the heart. And space in the Upanishads is a symbol of freedom and infinity. This expression, the space within the heart, is telling us of something within us that is not material, that is perfect, unbounded, infinite. And to quote the Chandogya Upanishad, within the heart, there is this tiny space. Should someone ask, what is it that is within this space? The answer is, that space within the heart is greater than earth, greater than heaven, greater than all these worlds. So to reflect on space, whether in the heart or universally, as the sky, is a means to transcendence. Friends, let us lift our focus above the world of limitations, picturing the blue sky. And let us enjoy the feeling of spaciousness and freedom of the blue sky. I'll do the visualization together now for about 4 to 5 minutes. Picture a blue, cloudless sky extending all around you. Feel the freedom, vastness, and purity of this great space. When other images enter the mind, let them dissolve in the blue sky. Om. a blue cloudless sky, freedom, vastness, purity. Stay alert. Take a few deep breaths and guide your mind back to the visualization. Now we're going to meditate on a text, and it is this. Om. The universal consciousness is in me, and I am that. Peace and love flow from me. The word I in the text is not referring to the personal ego. Rather, it is a means of lifting our attention above the ego to its source, which is universal. In our actual practice, we say inwardly the words of the text slowly, in serenity, but also, and most important, with strength and confidence in the intrinsic universality of our higher nature. If we have a sense of the underlying unity of all, then the last part of the meditation, peace and love flow from me, will in fact be a natural expression of our being. So let us meditate together now for about 5 minutes. Om. The universal consciousness is in me, and I am that. Peace and love flow from me. Om. The universal consciousness is in me, and I am that. Peace and love flow from me. Bring your mind back to the text. Repeat it slowly and let it sink in. We end our practice in a calm, meditative way by sending out thoughts of peace and goodwill to all without exception. And we do this for a minute or two. Thank you for your attention and participation.